All right, dude. So last week, or I guess it was early this week, um, I had some random like out of towner come in and I already had the polls done. So it was a Tuesday. So all the polls were done. And then the new releases for Wednesday, I always cover them up. And he's like, "Oh, are these covered up like out tomorrow or something?" Like, yeah, they are. He's like, I just don't understand why comics are street dated. Just makes no sense to me. I was like, okay. It's like, can you explain it to me? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm like, well, some days they get sent to me on a Thursday, and sometimes I get it on a Friday. It's just a way for every shop across the country to put them out at the same time. He's like, well, I guess I don't know. Like, what do you mean you don't know? Literally every fucking product ever is street dated. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? So that was
It's
just
like he's like, well, I mean, I like Doritos and those aren't street dated. I can get them anytime I want.
it's
It's
like,
like
well,
my
you got me there.
yeah, he's like, so I guess not everything's street dated, Mr. Comic Book Shop owner.
Yeah. In my head, I'm like, dude, just get the fuck out. I know you're not going to buy anything, and I don't want to have to explain how street dating works to you, so please leave.
He's like, back in my day, street dating was how I met my ex-wife.
And then I didn't ask.
It's like, she was quite the pill.
Anyway, just a fun little kooky customer story for you. So shall we Mad Lib?
Let's mad lib it up.
This one's called Babylon Rogues.
Ooh,
A noun.
baby.
An adverb.
Harry.
That doesn't work. Choose another.
Um,
And also, that's an adjective, not an
it.
adverb.
I don't care. Uh, Harrowly.
I'm not using that.
Violently.
Okay. A place.
The lawn. Get it? Baby lawn.
Oh, I thought you meant like your yard, like the
I know, I know,
lawn.
I know. Because I said a
Oh,
baby earlier, so it's now a
but
baby
they're
lawn.
not going to be together.
I know, I don't care. I do it for us.
Okay. Adjective.
Harry. This is gonna be one of them episodes. I'm feeling silly.
A noun.
um, dog shit.
A noun.
I'm gonna go with some cat shit.
Nah, pick something else that isn't going to read well.
Oh, okay, a tree.
A verb ending in ing.
Fucking.
Wow, really thought it was going to be something different.
I thought about it, but I'm like, we gotta keep the bits going.
Noun.
A ghost. Oh wait, no, a ghost.
Noun.
Um, let's say a cloud.
Person.
Jake. No, I already did. I do you all the time. Let's go.
Phrasing.
correct phrasing. Um, let's say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Adjective.
Foreign.
Pretty odd out of you, but okay. A plural noun.
um, like Siamese twins.
An exclamation.
Um, mm, wow, look at them.
Plural noun.
Geese.
And an adjective.
Um, oh damn, Burpee McGee. Give me a burpee. We'll say just like sturdy.
All right. Babylon Rogues. Check out my extreme baby skills, Jet called out violently as he prepared for the upcoming The Lawn Grand Prix. With this hairy gear, I'll beat Sonic for sure. I'm the fastest dog shit out there. I plan to win the Grand Prix and steal an emerald tree, too. I don't know, Jet. We need to focus on fucking and not on that speedy ghost, said Wave. But I have my cloud all ready to go, said Jet. I've been waiting for the Grand Prix, and I really want to show Arnold Schwarzenegger who is foreign. Can't we just race first and steal Siamese twins later? Wow, look at them, cried Storm. How about we let Boss beat Sonic at the Grand Prix while we steal the geese? Let's listen to Boss. He's the most sturdy guy we know. There you go.
I'm gonna say this is probably the most purely Mad Lib. Like, with the creator of Mad Lib was like, this is about what I had planned for it.
Yeah, except for maybe the fucking.
Yeah, maybe not the fucking, but that's that's about it. Oh, speaking of geese, really quick, funny story. Me and Bree were at the fresh market the other day, and as we were leaving, we were in the car. This guy had like a little baby dog, not a baby dog. It's probably an old dog, but it's like a little one that you can just like that could like if it got punted, it would go far. It's one of those little ones. And he's walking it, and there's like a goose that was like sitting on top of its nest, and there's another like the I'm assuming Mama Goose is sitting on the nest, and Papa Goose is like patrolling, and like he saw the dog, and he just like flew over to it, like rah, and, like went after it, and the dog is like, "Oh, I'm going after you too." And, like the owner just finally had to pick up his dog and walk away because the goose and the dog were going like just going like yelling back and forth.
Oh, that sounds like a very funny time.
Yeah, like because the goose would have had like it had the wingspan literally because it has wings, and then also because it was just you know about 50 times the size of this little ass dog.
Yeah.
So that dog was not backing down. He was ready for it.
Dude, geese always get up in that like King Ghidorah pose.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It makes me think, wonder what a three-headed goose would look like.
I just like one
King
day.
Goose Dora.
Yeah, I just would smack all three heads. Like one day I was getting barbecue, and like this one was just sitting on the sidewalk, and I'm just like walking past, like I'm just like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're a fucking bird, bud. Like, oh, you're gonna try to bite me. I've been bitten by a duck before. It tickles your little bill, and it feels funny. I'll just get out of here.
They try their best.
Yeah. Have a goose down feather hat if I'm by the time I'm done with you.
I'd like to see that.
I'm just like covered in blood, but I have like a few feathers in my hair. Like, Jake, I did it. It's like, is that your blood or the goose's? Yes. All right, man. Ready to start?
Yep.
Okay. What's up, everybody? It is Casey with Two Worlds Podcast, and with me, as always, it's the Bill Gates to my Paul Allen. It's Jake. How you doing, bud?
I'm okay.
So, fun fact: the reason why you're Bill Gates is because apparently you look like him.
Apparently. So
And
let's see here.
you know,
I don't see it.
I mean, white dude with glasses.
Yeah, but like there's lots of those. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean they all look like Bill Gates.
doesn't mean they all look like you, but again, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now that leads me to this Halloween. You're gonna be sexy Bill Gates,
Okay.
and so for me, I remembered I was like going through my brain different people that I was said I looked like through the years. This would have been high school, middle school.
Who on earth
No,
said you
not
look
Paul
like
Allen.
okay.
Paul Allen was Bill Gates' partner.
Okay.
So now I'm going to say who my sexy Halloween costume would be by what people have said in the past, that it's like all the way up to community college. So first one that I heard an awful lot of would be Napoleon Dynamite. You pull him up for those that don't know who Napoleon Dynamite looks like. They would tell me that and I'd say, oh boy, that's not a compliment.
Oh, I didn't mean to pull up the IMDb page. Did they really say that though?
Okay, so after Napoleon Dynamite, which everyone said in middle school, when we were in high school, Superbad was hot. So people were like, hey, you know who you look like, Casey? The guy from Superbad. And I was like, oh, yeah, which one? Oh, the fat one, Jonah Hill. You look like
What?
you look like the fat guy from Superbad. I'm like, still not a compliment.
You have never looked like Jonah Hill.
Thank you. So the next one, and my personal favorite, I mean, holy shit, why would anyone say this to someone? it's you know who you look like, Casey, right now? Who? Oh, you look like Roy L. Dennis from Mask.
What?
It's like, boy, go fuck yourself.
Who said that?
I don't remember. I just remember hearing that. I'm like, wow, that's terrible. And then the last one, and this is the nice one. Oh, but also, if you want to see me be a Roy L. Dennis, but sexy for Halloween, vote for that one. The last one was I once got said at Lakeland Community College, I look like Ryan Reynolds, which I'm like, I'll take it.
No offense, man. I don't see that one either.
I mean, I would sooner see that one than the kid from Mask. I don't see any of them, if I'm being honest. None of them catch my smolder, but vote on the Spotify thing. Who you think? Oh, Jake's gooshing over old Ryan now.
Who doesn't goosh over Ryan?
I mean, he's handsome, but I'll just say he's no Henry Cavill.
Well, I would say Henry Cavill is more like classically handsome. Ryan Reynolds is just sizzling in a different way.
Oh shoot, man! This is the gay cast this week.
It is.
So tell us down below. Who's your gay crush? Clearly, Jake's is Ryan. Mine's Henry.
Yeah, but also tell me that I don't look like Bill Gates, please.
Yeah, or tell him he does.
Put me in a rough spot.
Yeah, Be like, you look like Bill Gates, but sexy. You look like Bill Gates if he didn't hang out at Epstein Island.
You know. Okay. Lots to talk about this week in the news.
Well, like for the
Except,
last 2 weeks, really.
yeah, except all of it is through Casey, and I've just got a couple of things. But
Yeah. A lot of my stuff, I'm just gonna do speed rounds because, like I said, a lot of it, some of it was for last week, and it's late, so we're gonna be speed roundsing it up. Okay, so Liv Tyler, it's as far as I know, it's official. She's going to return to the MCU for Captain America because they're going to be doing lots of stuff with Hulk related stuff in that new Captain America movie. I mean, I guess it's fine. It's so weird that they're like, oh yeah, we have to, make sure she comes back for this along with the dude that played leader because we need this continuity. But like, different actor for Hulk. I don't really think the continuity from that movie really matters anymore. They could have done whatever the hell they wanted, but whatever.
yeah.
Do you have any preference on that?
No, I mean, I'm not upset that Liv Tyler's going to be in it because I like her. I'm not like no one else can play that role. Just
Yeah,
in
right.
general, because of Lord of the Rings, I like Liv Tyler.
And That Thing You Do, that's my favorite movie of hers.
That's a good movie too. You're
Yeah.
right.
If you haven't seen that movie, listen to this podcast about 3 more times and then watch it. It's a very good one.
Yeah.
And then My Adventures with Superman animated cartoon, it's getting moved to Adult Swim and it's going to release this year. So that news got dropped last week, and then this past week, so it would have been 2 weeks ago, we actually got a little bit of a teaser trailer for it, which was pretty neat too. I like the animation a good bit, and I'm surprised how much I like old dude from The Boys as the voice of Superman. He does a really good job.
The guy that plays.
Dewey,
Yeah.
yeah, blank on his name, but
I thought
famous
it was Huey.
Huey, Dewey, or Louie, one of the two, one of the three.
It took me a second. I was like, wait, that's not right. Anyway.
Clayface is set to be the villain of the Batman 2. Everyone is like, oh, it's Clayface, but it's like, it's going to be Golden Age Clayface. They're not doing the one that most of the people know. There's just no way, because that does not fit this universe at all.
Yeah. Well, isn't the Golden Age one also an actor, or is it just the one that's an actor?
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna be it's been a while since I watched it, but I've mentioned this before. If you are a Clayface head, if you're a Clay head, as as they're called, but you don't know much about it, Casually Comics did like a 10-part series on all the different Clayfaces because there's so darn many of them. And the Golden Age one was the actor, but the one that we think is the actor, that like the animated series one's more of an amalgamation of different clay faces, that they kind of combined to make this. If I remember correctly, the Golden Age one was the actor who then stopped being the actor, but that he had like prosthetics basically. So because then like I think the second one was just like a petty thief basically that got the powers of clay.
I got you.
Okay, and then Scott Pilgrim, the animated show coming to Netflix, will have the same cast as the movie, and Anamaguchi will write the original songs for it. Should be pretty exciting.
That is really cool, honestly.
The only thing, like, I'm kind of torn though, really quick, because we have my whole thought process is what's this going to be adding new to stuff?
Nothing.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's like, could it have been better if we got different people to be the parts? But
also,
I'm not going to shit on it too much.
I'm not going to shit on it either. I think it's cool. I'm going to watch it. I'm excited for it. But I just love that live action one so much. Like,
yeah,
Edgar Wright's timing on a lot of those things are so good that's like there's no way that this animated one's going to replicate that.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I bet Mike's pretty hyped though, huh?
Probably. Do you know, is the animation style gonna be what's his name's?
they're gonna have to do that because it's like that's literally the only point in doing this. Like there's no other point for them to be like, yeah, let's do this Attack on Titan style instead.
Brian Lee O'Malley, it just came to me.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so we are gonna. Oh wait, you and me have seen some shitty movies in theaters together. One of them being Street Fighter: Legend of Chun Li, and they set that up for a sequel. And I don't think this movie that Legendary is going to be coming out with is the sequel, but we are getting a Street Fighter movie from Legendary, so that's going to be pretty cool. I bet it's going to be somewhere in between the first Street Fighter movie and then the Legend of Chun Li, because there's no way they're going to be able to match Raul Julia being just the best in Bison.
Yeah, I agree. Man, was Neil McDonough Bison in the newer one?
I don't. He was. I don't. I don't know who that dude is. Like the name. I know the name that you said, but I can't. But he was a good actor. Like it was like, but it was just still like Raul Julia killed it, and then the rest of that movie was just like not dumb. Like it was dumb, but it wasn't fun. Where the other ones, like you have Guile going, "Yeah, we can all go home," and everyone's like, "I don't want to go home," and they're like, "But I'm not going home." You're like, "Yeah, let's die for what we believe in."
Yeah, Neil was in Bison. I just looked it up.
I gotcha. And
He
then
was R.I.P. He was a good actor.
yeah, and with the best line though, a villain has said, and like other people have tried to say it, is in that first Street Fighter movie, and I don't think it's ever going to get topped from another Street Fighter movie. Is when Chun Li's like tells her big sob story about how like M Bison killed her father and blah blah blah, and he's like, "Your most important day of your life was when M Bison came to town, and for me, it was just a Tuesday."
Just savage.
Oh, it's like, damn, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
pretty cold.
this is something I'm really curious to see how your opinion on this, because it's kind of similar to the Scott Pilgrim news. Harry Potter reboot is coming to HBO. Each book is going to be a season. They're going to recast everything, which is weird to me because as a non-pothead, um, it's like that seemed like perfect casting for the movie. So it's like, how are they going to one up this? What's your opinion though? Do you think it's gonna be better as a season long TV series?
Yes, but only if they do not deviate from those books. The movies left a lot out. So
Mm-hmm.
if the show doesn't leave that stuff out, then yeah, it'll probably be better. I don't know. I'm very torn on this, man, because one, it's like the casting was pretty perfect. I don't really want to see a Harry Potter that's not Daniel Radcliffe. Um, also, we both know this is going to happen, and neither of us care about it. They're going to cast people of color,
Yeah.
and everyone's going to throw a fucking fit that it's not an all white TV show. And, it's just going to be another stupid fucking Twitter civil war over it. And
Well,
it's like, dude, haven't we had enough of these? Like,
I heard a rumor that I just made up right now that RuPaul is gonna be Hermione.
well, so whenever they did that Harry Potter play, um, that was based on that book that is literally you read it and it's just a script. I don't know why they did it that way. Apparently,
That money.
the gal that played Hermione, was black, and so everybody threw their fit. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route again. Um, but I don't give a shit about any of that casting stuff. I just want to see, like, if they're gonna do it, because it sounds like they're gonna do it. I just want them to do the shit that they left out of the books.
Yeah. Now it's gonna be like pretty tough to do like full seasons, right? Like with those later books, because they're like Like the first one's like, oh yeah, there's it's gonna be hard to do a whole season, 12 episodes or whatever with that first couple books because they're like normal length books, but the later ones when they're like this thick, they're like, yeah, we're gonna try to squeeze the same amount of episodes into this. Like, how's that gonna work?
Well, my thought is that they'll stick to this book a season for the first couple, but then if the show is like, let's say it's pulling like Game of Thrones numbers, or at least in the same ballpark, right? Then
Yeah,
they'll be like, all right, it's gonna be 2 seasons a book or whatever.
I gotcha.
Because really, if they get a cast at the right age, they can do that. And I think they'll need to. Otherwise, like you said, it's too much for a season because it's going to be HBO, so it's going to be like 6 or 8 episodes,
Yeah,
and they're going to have to leave shit out. And it's like, I'll just watch the fucking movie if that's the case. We don't
yeah,
need to see it again. And that's another thing. Those movies really aren't that old. They're not so old that it needs to be rebooted.
yeah. Now, I don't know any of the people, but would you be yay or nay to recasting the original cast as like different teachers or whatever? Like fucking Harry is Snape. And not Harry, but Daniel Radcliffe is Snape.
I don't like that.
Or Ron Weasley, because I don't know his actor's name, is
Rupert
like,
Grint.
yeah, old Rupert is Mad Eyed Moody.
No, I don't like that. I want
Uh,
like it'd be cool to just see them like they're in the background or something
yeah,
somewhere. But I don't think. Plus, I don't think they would do that either. Rupert might, because I think he's done the least
what
after.
I mean, I could see them though also doing like, oh yeah, Daniel Radcliffe voiced the Sorting Hat or whatever.
Sure.
Does he have a voice? I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
that works. Okay,
Yep.
and then like Rupert was the voice of those like I've just seen this in the trailers where it's like oh those like plants in that one lady's room where it's they scream when they pull them out.
They only scream, so it would
Yeah,
just be Rupert Grint
yeah.
screaming.
He's like, this is what I wanted to be the first time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. Like, obviously, it's going to be tough not to be a little bit excited just for some new Harry Potter content. At the same time, I just don't trust them to not just do the same shit, but as a TV show.
Yeah,
I would rather it be kind of like the game where it's like set before all that shit and they can do some brand new bad guy and cool magic shit. Like that's all we need.
yeah. No, I hear you. Okay, so then we got a whole bunch of trailers. I already mentioned the My Adventures of Superman, but did you watch that one?
Yep.
Okay,
Looks
what'd
pretty
you think?
cool.
Yeah,
No,
you
no, I
liked
thought it
it?
looked good. Uh-huh.
Okay. Blue Beetle, did you see that one?
I did. I see a lot of people hating on it. I actually think the suit looks cool and it looks like a fun movie.
See, I thought the suit looked like it was a little lower quality because like it was made for HBO Max. But one sec. And but besides that, I thought it looked like a fine movie. It's one of those ones where I'm be more than happy to watch it. So,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully I'll see it in theaters. I'm not gonna make any promises because I wanted to see Shazam also, but haven't yet. Um, Into the Spider Verse.
I did not see that trailer.
Oh, it looks. I think it looks good, but I think it's a little overhyped. People are like, oh my god, it's so good, but it's also like, oh my god, it's people being mad at the main Spider-Man and they're chasing him. Other Spider-Men are chasing him. Okay.
Yeah, like it's not going to top the first one. That first one, it really, I genuinely think is an amazing movie. But it's not going to be better than that because you're not going to recapture that kind of magic a second time. It's going to be like, yeah, it was good, not as good as the first one.
I think it's gonna have a lot of meta jokes in it throughout too. Um, okay, then lastly, we got a Secret Invasion trailer. Did you watch that one?
No.
Oh, it
Is
looks
that
okay.
live action?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's gonna be Nick Fury heavy because you remember Secret Invasion, that whole Marvel universe of Universal event was just settled by Nick Fury. You stop hitting my camera, Hallie. Stop. But
Is anyone else going to be in it?
no, Nick, like there's one part, I think War Machine's in the trailer, but there's like really one part where like he kind of like looks at the camera, he's like, I'm doing this one alone. And he's like he winks with his bad eye. So it's like don't get hyped up. No one's gonna be in this.
Like not even like Maria Hill or
I
anything.
think Maria Hill's in it, and then you get the um oh, I know him as Tim from The Office, but you know him as Frodo, not Frodo, um, the Hobbit from The Hobbit, Bilbo,
Martin
Bobo,
Freeman.
Bobo T. Baggins.
Don't ever speak again. His name is Martin Freeman.
Yeah, he's gonna be in it. But no, I think making this a TV show is just the worst way of doing it because I think it would have been so much better as a movie where you could then, just give Chris Evans and give um, Robert Downey Jr. a bunch of like just bags of money and be like, hey, just come back, and then you're gonna be a scroll. You're not gonna even be your character, but it's gonna get people hyped up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not super hot on that. Um, but yeah, no, it looks like I think you would like the trailer. I think you'd be hyped for the show, but it is just kind of ruins the point of the original. Okay, Frank Grillo has been cast in the James Gunn DC verse. Everyone's saying probably Creature Commandos, and he's probably gonna be like Rick Flag, which I think that's fine casting.
Was he Crossbones?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think that's the only thing I know him from.
Yeah, I know him from that Men's Health video where he's like talking, and then a video where he's like doing this like actors round table where he compared being an Italian American to being black, but he was like, and black people, it's like everyone's like, why did you do quotes with black people, and why are you comparing being Italian American to being black? And then that's the only part of the clip I saw, but I'm like, this guy's funny. It's like, yeah, if everyone's like, oh, you make a great pizza, it's just racist stereotypes. Like, but dude, Frank, I've tasted your pizza. It's amazing. He's like, thank you. But I just don't like that you assume.
And also, Frank, black people are real.
Yeah. Oh man. So I guess there was a Star Wars thing this week.
You're joking, right?
I mean, like I knew it was a thing and I was getting updates on my phone, but I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going
It's
on.
Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
It's the biggest Star Wars event of the year every year.
Yeah, I don't like that nerd shit. But old Miss Daisy Ridley is coming back. She's set to return as Rey in a new Star Wars film set 15 years in the future. As someone that, loved the sequels, right? Or just not a fan. I don't remember. I don't listen. But are you like at all like hoping she gets redemption? Because I know it might
No.
not be the best.
No, I have no excitement for this.
Yeah.
And shout out to two people, Preston and Dan. I love both of you, but both of you love literally anything Star Wars that comes out, no matter how bad it is. You love it, and that's fine. I'm glad that you have that happiness in your heart and soul to do that. But I just do not give one single fuck about a Rey trilogy.
I'm not the way it sounds, I'm not even sure if they have enough faith in it to be a trilogy. It might be like we're planning more movies after this one actually made money, but because right now it's just I only saw the thing for one movie, but they're doing three, like they've announced like three new movies. The next one, the movie's gonna be directed by Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy and written by Stephen Knight.
Wait, Stephen Knight, he did something that I really like.
But I mean, like my whole thought process too is like,
yeah, he wrote Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, like I think this could be interesting, and I'm saying this as a, like, oh, Star Wars has been, I'm not interested in it anymore. But it could be interesting in the fact that it's like, oh, we actually have a plan now. Before, we didn't know shit what we were gonna do. We were making up per each movie. This time it seems
So
like there's actually a thought process.
yeah. So here's the thing. John Favreau and Dave Filoni,
Yeah.
Filoni, whatever his first name is. Uh, they've done everything, like been showrunners for everything post those bad sequels. So, I'm saying I'm not excited for it, but have I loved everything that's come out Star Wars since then? Yes. So it's one of
Yeah.
these things where I'm like, I couldn't give a fuck, but then it's going to come out and I'm going to watch it because of course I am. And I'm going to say, wow, that was amazing. Right.
Yeah. My
So,
my main my main thing is like, and it's, I mean, I'm not big enough Star Wars head, but what are they gonna do? It's like, oh, she's starting up a Jedi temple again. Oh man, one of her students, he's a bad apple. Nah, he's turned to the dark side. We're gonna have to fight him. It's like, oh, it's like we've seen this movie before.
it's like, man, what would make this even cooler is if the Sith turned good guy Kylo Ren were also here to continue his character development.
What
Too
would be?
bad we don't get that.
She's like she's like, the teacher, the spinster teacher, but then like, like every night she'll be talking to Kylo Ren. She's like, oh, hey Kylo. They're like, the students would walk like, oh, she's using her Force Ghost powers to make out with her dead boyfriend. Ugh.
Gosh, our Star Wars fans are listening and just cringing away from this talk.
Or they're just like, oh man, he must have been reading our fan fiction.
Sounds hot. Well, let me get in one of my things because
Okay.
it's Star Wars related.
Hey
We
man,
got
you can get your thing in anytime.
phrasing.
I know.
Still correct phrasing. We did get an Ahsoka trailer. I watched it like 3 times at this point. It's fucking awesome, dude. I think I like sometimes, as we know, trailers are nothing like the final product. But man, everybody just looks so cool in it. Ahsoka looks really good. The action in the trailer looks good. And I mean, I guess if you haven't seen it and don't want to know anything, then skip ahead a few seconds. But Thrawn is gonna be like the main bad guy, and we see like a back profile of him. There's just a lot to be excited for if you're like a diehard Star Wars fan. Plus, we see it's like almost a direct sequel to the Rebels show. We see all those characters except for one or two in the trailer, and they all look really good live action. So it's like, man, if people like stuck it out with Rebels or just really like extended universe stuff, like this is going to be the show for you.
Nice, dude. I didn't stick it out with Rebels, but
It's real good.
that's
Real
what I
good.
hear. Another more Star Wars fun stuff. James Mangold is going to direct a new Star Wars film set 25,000 years before Episode 4, in the dawn of Jedi time, in the dawn of the Jedi time period, and will follow the origin of the first Jedi. So, would be great if his name was Jed and he had one eye. It's like, oh, what's your new space religion's name? And he's like, Jedi. And they're like, you just looked in the mirror, didn't you? He's like, no.
I think this is a good like a cool idea. And I want to believe in the Filoni verse here, but I just don't know if this is one that we need because I like not knowing more than I like knowing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's one of those things where like, yeah, it could be an awesome add to the stuff, the all the stuff for Star Wars, but at the same time, it could also just like metachlorian it and not be awesome anymore. It might turn a lot of people off. So it's gonna be hard to pull that off.
I agree. Real quick though, speaking of James Mangold, we're kind of cutting away from Star Wars a little bit, but we got confirmation that he's writing and directing the Swamp Thing movie for the Gunverse.
I saw that.
Do I know anything he's done?
Pretty sure he did Old Man Logan, but not Old Man Logan, but just Wolverine, Logan or whatever, you know.
Okay. I liked
So
that movie.
yeah, it was perfectly fine. Stop it. She's gonna get a whooping. Like her paws are wrapped right around the thing that the tripod, and so like she's having like a little bit of a dream, so her paws shaking, so it's moving it every once in a while. She's a terrible cameraman.
It's just slowly getting further away from
I
you.
know. Goes to her face. Just, so David Filoni is going to direct a Star Wars film set in the New Republic era and will culminate stories began in Mandalorian, Book of Boba, and Ahsoka. Now, is Book of Boba, that's about Boba Tea, right?
Would you stop being such a fucking silly goose today?
I mean, probably not. It's late and I am running on fumes.
I'm actually genuinely very excited for whatever that film is. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
it's
taking his three things and he's bringing all their stories together. It's gonna be sort of like, I'm hoping it's the same like scope as the first Avengers movie. You know what I mean?
yeah. My one worry is like if it's a full like a actual proper movie in theaters, it's like, oh yeah, you have to do all of this homework to, you know, like it, like I don't know how that's gonna
Oh, but
work
dude,
out.
come on. Everyone's watching that stuff.
Not seen a peep except for what's on Twitter
Yeah,
every
but
once in
you're
a
not a
while.
Star Wars person.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna go see the movie because I like buttered popcorn.
You won't go see movies you want to see. You're not going to go
Yeah,
watch this.
you're right.
Anybody that's a Star Wars fan has already seen these shows, so they're going to be fine.
Yeah, but okay. I will say this. So I will do a little bit pushing back. There are people out there that are like, oh yeah, I like Star Wars. You know, the 6 movies or no, the 9 movies now. Sorry, I can't count. And they're like, oh, there's a new Star Wars? Yeah, I'll watch that. And then they'll be like, what is all of this?
I think there's like maybe 10 people that you're referring to.
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't.
that's too silly to be a
No,
big problem.
I really don't because it's like I think there's less people streaming that stuff than you'd think.
Whatever that number is, it is such in the minority that I don't think it's going to be a problem. I really
Why
don't.
do you hate minorities, man?
What at what point did
You're
that come out of my mouth?
you're like it's in the minority. They don't matter.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
I'm just saying they should just
I'm
be more
just saying.
inclusive.
I'm just saying you're a fucking goose. All right. So it's a couple of comic things. Torn Grunbeck and Diogenes Neves are going to launch this title called Realm of X. And the team is Magic, Danny Moonstar, Marrow, Dust, Curse, and Typhoid Mary. It's going to be part of this Fall of X thing they're doing, and it's going to be a whole lot of Asgardian stuff mixed with X-Men.
Such a weird team.
It's a very weird team. I don't know Dust or Curse. But I like Torrin Grunbeck a whole lot. I like Magic. So her writing Magic, I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm in, at least on the first issue of whatever this is.
Yeah, it's just hilarious where it's like, I mean, Magic and Danny Moonstar working together for Asgardian stuff makes sense. But then they're like, Typhoid Mary, the Daredevil bad guy. Asgardian stuff. It makes sense.
Okay, but that some of the shit that's as weird as this sometimes is the best.
Yeah, no, I think I think it's gonna work. It's just odd as hell to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do my last bits of news so we can finish with something that's important ish. So Netflix has ordered a Stranger Things animated spinoff because they need the money apparently because they think that's going to keep making them money. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why anyone is like, oh yeah, let's keep milking this cow. And then, according to the AMC app, Shin Kamen Rider is going to come to American theaters on May 31st. Super fucking pumped if that's true.
I bet you go see that one though.
Oh boy, will I. And I'll be texting you. Like, I'll be doing like the selfie, like, Jake, you gonna watch it with me? And you're like, we're in different states. So you're not coming?
I'll watch it with you if you come here.
Man, how about we meet in Quincy, Illinois?
That's not very close for either of us, is it?
I think it's like enough out of the way for both of us that it works.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. And the last bit of news, Steve Orlando and Vincenzo Caratu are launching Astonishing Iceman this August. So if you've been missing an Iceman solo series, wait just a little bit longer. Any thoughts on that?
Not really. I mean, I used to really, really like Iceman, and then Bendez is like, you know what? I need my legacy on this book to last forever. So even though in continuity, he has been at the very least interested in women because he's had his, subconscious kissing women or watching over his past lovers. I'm just going to say he's full blown gay. I think that's even the words we used. It's like, you could have just said bi, could have had a bi character. There's not a lot of those out there. Like, nah, full blown gay. That's what he is.
And Jean Grey had to be so intrusive about it
Yeah,
too.
she's like, dude, I read your mind. You're one of them homos. And he's like, first off, don't use that word. Secondly, not cool.
But hey, that's Bendis for you.
Yeah. Bendis is like, no, this is cool. I get points for this, right?
People like this writing.
Yeah.
But
Tell us down below. Do you like Bendis like just changing characters' continuity without even paying any attention to the past stuff? Or are you like, oh, not a fan?
All right, that's it for the news. So now we're going to talk comics. What did you read, Casey?
So I read Joseph Fixit, number 4, Stillwater, number 18, I Am Iron Man, number 2, The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 7, Ghostrider, 13, The Flash, 1 Minute War, Finale, 796, Batman, 134, The Nasty, number 1, and Saga, 63. What about you, good sir?
I read Witcher, Ballad of Two Wolves, number 4, Koshchei and Hell, number 4, Icon versus Hardware, number 2, Fables, number 158, Scarlet Witch, number 4, Batman 134, Saga 63, and The Nasty, number 1.
Right on. Yeah, we'll just flip back and forth because I didn't count while you were saying. So I'll start up and then we'll go from there. So Joseph Fixit, number 4 by Peter David with Yildirim Sinar on the art. And so, yeah, Joe Fixit fights some Spider-Man baddies, and then like it's hilarious because then like this other dude's like, hey, I need to make my own team of C-list villains to fight the Hulk and Spider-Man and Kingpin's bad guys. And he's like, here's my group: Mass Marauder, Hydro Man, and Whiplash.
Heavy hitters.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, this team is gonna be tough to beat. And here's some nightmare fuel for you too. Just
what the hell is that?
So they
also don't ever show me that again.
So basically, what happens is they do the old switcherooski to Kingpin. They tell him, "Hey, me, Joseph Fixit, the Hulk, the guy you messed with last time. I caught Spider-Man for you." Everyone's like, "Oh wow, you did it. Let's take his mask off." And they took the mask off, and it's that. And he's like, "You like it? By the way, my hand's not bound." And then he talks. He's like, "Yeah, I went in Civvies. She assumed I was just an avid cosplayer, and so she just painted. Someone just painted his face. Must have
Wow.
been good paint because it didn't come off, with the thing, with the stuff." I just love the thought too, though, of them being like, let's unmask them. And it'd be very much like that scene in Justice League where it's like, just some white guy.
Yep. I have no idea who this is.
Like that narrows it down. We know he's not black now. He's white for sure. But then like there's one.
The Dolly G, here's your
Yeah.
change, didn't give that away.
But so yeah, like Rhino fights with Hulk for a little bit, and that's pretty fun. But then like the dumb part is Hulk beats him up, and then friggin' Kingpin starts just wailing into the Hulk, and he's like punching away, actually getting hits in. It's like, yeah, Kingpin's strong, but here's the thing:
No,
he's
it's
not
the
that strong.
Hulk.
Yeah, it's like he's not doing anything. That's his punches. It'd be very much like in like one of those old movies where like the female character is sad about something and she's like, "I hate you." That would be the level of hits that she'd be doing. And like the Hulk should just grab his hands and then just smooch him, like basically like those movies.
Well, we're really digging
I would be
into
like, this comic
fanfic
took
tonight.
a turn.
But would you still be into it?
I'd be like, okay, where's this going, Mr. David? And how do I get more of it? But no, this is still fun. It's still Spider-Man heavy though. But yeah, I'm gonna go 8 out of 10.
All right. The Witcher Ballad of Two Wolves, number 4. It's written by Bartosz Stizdabor. Good Lord, I'm sorry.
Casey alert. All right.
I know, right? And the art by Mickey Montlow. But yeah, this was a satisfying end to the book, unlike the last miniseries. So I was very happy with that. We find out who's doing what in the murder mystery, and it turns out that a couple people are duping, which was a nice little twist. And spoiler alert, Geralt has to kill a monster. And yeah, the mystery is solved, and Geralt and Dandelion go about their ways. And it's just one of those things where, like, one thing that I really appreciate about Witcher stories is that sometimes there's just not a happy ending. Things happen, and it's like, man, I mean, justice was served, but damn, look at the cost. And this was one of those, so I liked it a lot. So this was definitely one of the better Witcher miniseries. And if you're a fan of the Witcher books, show, or game, you should check out the comics too. They're worth it. So I'm gonna give that a 9, and overall the series probably a 9.
Nice, man. Speaking of no happy endings, one time I went to Massage Envy and I was like, with that cost, no happy endings.
Move on, sir.
It's Stillwater 18 by Chip Zdarsky with Ramon K. Perez. This is, chapter 18, final issue. All hell's breaking loose. Lots of talking, lots of fighting, lots of killing, and lots of coming back to life after being killed because he can't die. Crazy ending. It's good. It's a good time.
Do they get to leave the town?
Boy, I'll say this, they can. But you know what? There's an M. Night Shyamalan level twist that would have you going, I kind of want some more of this. but at the same time, it's like it ends where you're satisfied, but at the same time you're like, I would not be upset if, like he came out with even stiller water because it was good. But like at the same time, he'd be like, Chip, what you doing with that name? Even stiller water? That's something I'd come up with. Come on, you're better than that. But yeah, no, this is really good. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. Series as a whole, probably 8 because it kind of dragged in spots. But I do want to reread it in a proper collection.
Nice. I'm glad you liked it. All right. Koshchei in Hell number 4. It's written by Mike Mignola with art by Ben Stenbeck. This is a weird, weird final issue, man. Just so weird. Koshchei last issue was thrown into the ocean and swallowed by sea monsters. He wakes up in this place. There's like all the people he's ever killed is there. His dead ex-wife is there. His demon father is there. Then some little girl gives him like a golden magical heart that brings him back to life. He kills the sea monster, has some trippy, weird vision, and then just gets some weird, walks off into the sunset happily ever after, and then it ends. Like I have no fucking clue what happened in this issue. It was just one big fucking trip. I mean, it was good. If you're like, yo, Jake, tell me what happened. I don't know. I don't know. It kind of seems like he's done with Koshchei after this, the way that this ended. So I don't know. We'll see if that's the case. But this issue, probably like a 7, just because of how weird it was. It was like perfectly average. The series as a whole, probably like an 8.5. That's where I'm at.
Right on, man. Okay. I Am Iron Man, Chapter 2, The Man with the Bleeding Heart by Marera Aodela and Dotan Akande on the art. This is really good. Like I was like, oh, I don't know how they're gonna do another issue after the first issue, and they're like, we're not even worried about connecting them. These are all just self-contained stories. And I'm like, oh, well, this now makes sense, but it's still really good. Starts with this meteor shower. Iron Man, stops it, but he's at the bottom of the ocean then, and there's this big old sea monster that can like read his mind, and they kind of talk back and forth though, and they kind of become friends. Yeah. Then they get the thing, he stops what he needs to stop and nearly dies, and then he gets rescued, and that's how it ends. And then at the end they go, this episode was written and illustrated for and is dedicated to everyone whose body betrays them, whose body has kept them away from their dream lifestyle, or whose body has caused them frequent hospital visits. Do not give up. Keep fighting for life like Iron Man. Defy Mother Nature one day at a time. And this issue, though, it's very good. It's very good, single story. I'm loving these 2 issues so far. They've both been super good. I'm gonna have to remember that I like this so much when we do our awards, because it's gonna get nominated, because it's super, super awesome. I think you'd enjoy it. As someone who, blood boils at the sight of Iron Man, I think you would still even like it. Yeah, I'm gonna give this probably a 10 out of 10. It is very good.
Pick of the week?
No.
All right. Icon versus Hardware number 2. It's written by Reginald Hudland and Leon Chills, with art by Dennis Cowan and Yasmin Flores Montanez. And it was okay. There's lots of like time travel stuff, and lots of fights. Some of it's kind of confusing because like you're seeing the same character multiple times in the same panel, because of the time travel stuff. And I don't know, time travel is just so damn hard to nail, in my opinion. Rarely works out. But then hardware like goes way back in time to try and like stop slavery from happening, essentially. And runs into this super strong dude who whoops his ass. And then you find out who it is. Any guesses?
It's Icon. Or
No,
yeah. Okay. No.
nope. Time traveling.
It's Superman. He's like, we gotta keep them slaves in line.
Think DC villains that stand the test of time.
Ultra Humanite. I don't know.
No. Vandal Savage.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's like you're kind of losing me. But then that last panel reveal of Vandal Savage, it's like, all right, I'll stick around some more. So I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay. Next up, it's The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing by Matthew Rosenberg and Carmen de Giandomenico on the art.
Does he finally laugh in this issue?
I mean, he has a few chuckles. I wouldn't say full on laughs, but boy, Joker's a jerk. I'm just gonna toss this out. He's fighting Manhunter, and it's a fun time. And then like everyone thinks, because they're an ally, and so everyone thinks that they're like just performing arts and stuff. Like there's this guy like, they're getting pictures and stuff, and Joker's like, hey, you want to get in on this? He's like, sure, and Joker's just like, oh, I'll read the joke that he does because he says, it's like, I'll call you Rolando. Question for you, Rolando. What goes through a mind like yours when you get picked for a performance like this? He's like, excitement, I guess. He's like, wrong. It's a bullet. He shoots him in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so then him and Manhunter keep fighting, then start fighting again and stuff. And then it cuts to Gotham, and you have Solomon Grundy nursing back other Joker, and then Manhunter still trying to get Joker and stuff. And it's funny because it's like she nearly like just hits the car, it goes tumbling down, and he's like, Joker goes, this is crazy. Are you and Will? Who acts like this? I was trying to leave your stupid city. Why won't you let me leave? And then he's like, make sure to save the clown from the burning car. Wouldn't want him to get hurt. Ha ha. And she's like, I'm not saving you from the fire, you freak. And he's like, what are you gonna do? Drown me? She's like, yes, you can't drown me in the LA River. You can't do that. It's only 4 inches deep. And he's like, she's just hold his head underwater. That's how it ends. I'm like, I like that this one actually is trying to kill Joker. And then the backup is Joker running for public office, and it's pretty funny. Deathstroke's like, I'm gonna keep killing him, and they run out of clowns as backups and stuff, and it's pretty silly too. But this is a fun book. Rosenberg does a great job. The art in it's great. It's just fun. I'm like, I really want to know what the hell's going on, but it's also like it's not. Like there's sometimes where you're like, oh man, this mystery has played its part, and this is at issue 7. I'm still like, I'm here for this ride. I'm liking it, so I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. Fables 158. It's written by Bill Willingham and art by Mark Buckingham. I don't know if anyone else is reading this but me, so I don't really need to get into it too much, but the story's just getting better for all the characters involved, like the Wolf family and Jack and the Green, but I like it. It's cool. Gonna keep on with it. I think there's like 3 more issues, and 8 out of 10.
Right on, man. You gonna check out some of the older Fables now?
Probably eventually, yeah.
All right, so next up it's The Ghostwriter by Benjamin Percy and Corey Smith. And so yeah, like I have some issues with this book, but first I just want to say this design for Danny Ketch's bad guy Ghostwriter, I love it because it's like, Ghostwriter looked pretty cool. And you know what else looked cool? Wolverine Weapon X. Let's combine them. They're like, okay, let's put Ghostwriter in his underwear. They're like, no, he's gonna keep the leather on, but he's gonna have the helmet. Like, oh, okay. But
Makes sense to me.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it would have been more fun if it's just like, no, he's just Ghostrider in his undies. That's what we wanted. But so yeah, Danny catches at this bar. Someone tries to beat him up, and then this lady talks to him afterwards, and she's like basically like, hey, we want to use you, we want to help you out with your whole demon, being possessed thing. And then like while it's cutting back to them, it'll cut back to the main universe where it's following the goth chick and um, Johnny, and they're trying to figure out what's going on and seeing all these dead people and stuff. And it keeps cutting back and forth. And Danny's like, I don't want this thing inside me anymore. And which it's like, it's kind of weird because like the last time I saw Danny, he was like, I want that thing back inside me again. And everyone's like phrasing. And so it's like did Benjamin Percy read the last time Danny showed up? Because he was all about being Ghostrider again. And that's kind of like the one downside to this for me is like, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but it just seems out of character for him from the Jason Aaron bit that I've read. That was last time I saw Danny, and I don't know, wasn't ideal for me, but I still like it. It's fun. I'm excited to see Ghostrider versus Ghostrider because that's like kind of what you always want to see. So I'm gonna go 7 out of 10.
All right. Scarlet Witch number 4. It's written by Steve Orlando with art by Sarah Pichelli. This one was kind of weird. So the last one ended with that Amazon lady coming after Darcy. And we kind of get some backstory there. It turns out Darcy killed some other Amazon lady. It's like, really? Darcy?
Sounds like her.
Darcy did that?
She's got darkness up inside her.
Yeah, she does, apparently. But anyway, Wanda fights her and sends her out of the town and throws up a protection barrier. And then the end shows that lady finding a way around that. And I guess it's going to continue. So this one was kind of a weaker issue as far as Scarlet Witch stuff is concerned. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
I got you. Okay, so The Flash. And this is by Jeremy Adams with Roger Cruz, George Cambadals, and Fernando Passarin on the art. And I really just want people to read this. I don't want to spoil it because there's a big thing that happens in this. Jeremy Adams does that makes me go, Jeremiah Adams. And he'll be like, my name's Jeremy. I'll be like, Jeremiah, you magnificent bastard. And I just want to hug you because this is so wonderful. It makes me so happy. And I love it so much. And I'm not going to say another word about it because I want all of y'all to read this because it's awesome. And the art's fun. The art switches a lot between, but it works the way they do it here. We get some Blue Beetle, or like, I think it's Gold Beetle is her name. There's a good bit of her in here. I like her a lot. I think she's a fun character. Yeah, this is just a good ass book. This is my pick of the week. It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
And the whole 1 minute war, wish it was an hour long.
I just have our 3 mutuals.
Me too. What
right,
order do you want to do them in, man?
Let's do Batman Saga the Nasty.
Okay. Let's do the nasty last.
So Batman 134, it's written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Mike Cawthorn. I'm just super not feeling it, man.
I'm liking it more than the last one. I like this okay. But it's weird when he's like, he's like, oh, it's like Ghostmaker. It's tough to beat him normally. This one's got Venom. And it's just like, well, thank God I was able to beat him.
With really
like,
what
okay.
seemed like not too much effort, honestly. It's just like, oh, we need to beat him quick.
Yeah, and then like other part that like I don't get this at all, and maybe you can explain it. Maybe you just know more than me. But when it's like, oh, it's Clark, and he's like, I walk as a man, but I am your nightmare, and he's like, oh, you fucking freak, and he flies off. It's just
Yeah,
like,
I thought that
okay.
was weird.
So I
I
didn't
don't
quite
know.
get that.
I actually like the backup more than the main series.
Yeah, no, he's bringing on the backup. Who does the art for the backup?
It's Miguel Mendonca.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you're a Drake head, the backup's for you because I have a feeling if you're a Drake head, you're probably fucking screaming at the fucking universe that Fitzsimmons is writing your favorite character
It's Martin.
because this is actually really good. Yeah, whatever. She sucks. I don't care. But hey, Fitzmartin, if you're listening to this and you want to come on sometime, just DM me. I'll let you on. I don't care.
There's okay, whatever.
I'll just be like, why are you so bad at your job? But
Anyway,
no, I actually I like the backup story a good bit. Like the only thing that kind of annoyed me is like old uh old toy man's like, oh, I didn't want to do I didn't mean for this. I'm sorry. And they're like, yeah, I know. It's okay, you little fucking psycho. I'll buy you a toy after I get back. Like it's just like, okay. He's seems like he's getting let off the hook pretty easy when he had those people kidnapped and doing God's knows what to them, but it's okay, toy man.
I'm
Where you
at
at for this though?
like a 5.
I'm at about a 7. I liked it enough, but it's just kind of like a lot of feel like. Okay, so yeah, I mean I liked it more than you. It's good, solid, but yeah, I don't know. This has just been like Zdarsky's run on Batman's has been kind of a letdown for me so far.
Yeah.
Next up though, it is Saga by the amazing Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This book is so good, and it's like the fact that it's $3.99 while like some of these other books I'm buying are like $4.99, and we get so much more, and it's so much more enjoyment. It's crazy, and like I'm just left always going. I don't know where this is going next, but I love it. This
Yeah.
is just such a good book. You should be reading this series. It's a 10 out of 10. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I love that. Like all of it was good, but the end with the kids doing their thing was also so good, and I just love it.
Okay, and then lastly, it's The Nasty by John Lees with George Campandice and Adam Cahoon on the art. And I actually had fun fact, I actually got to read this digitally before it came out. What'd you think of it though?
Honestly, loved it.
Same. Like this, it actually made me think of people I went to college with. I was actually in film club in college, and they were a little bit more me too. We were all a little bit more douchey than these guys are. Like they actually enjoy shitty movies where like we're like, oh no, we like the Oscar nominated bullshit. Like we're at that stage of our lives. But no, this is super good, super interesting. I'm just like I'm 100% here for the ride. It's a very good first issue. Friend of the podcast book also, so you really should be picking it up, supporting him. Support him.
And
So
we're not just saying that because he's been on the show either. Like it really is just that good.
no, it is a very fun book. I'll be honest, the art's not my favorite at times, but it works with this story just like it worked with Flash because it Cameron I'm gonna butcher his name every time, but Cameron Dallas, he was on Flash this time and it works. I wouldn't want to read it in every book, but it works with where it's at. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10 though.
Yeah, I'm at 9 out of 10. Really good stuff.
All right, man. I don't know what's coming out this week, so I don't know what I'm excited for. So it's going to be a mystery. I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
But we're back from C2E2. Neither of us have the C2E the con cold, which is a plus, but there were creators that were like, oh, they weren't there. But what are some creators that you wish could be there next year?
Sure, I'm gonna go with Chuck Dixon, Walt Simonson, Dan Waters, and Rose Besh.
Nice.
How about you?
I'm gonna say old Jeremy Adams, um, Timmy Shares, just at the very least, so we could ask if he likes being called Timmy Shares. And I'd probably ask him comic book questions like, "Oh yeah, what's Gorilla Greg's favorite meal?" Then I'm kind of like I'll say Grant Morrison. I would love to meet them, and let's toss in old Liam Sharp. I like some Liam Sharp.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, that's the end of the episode. So closing plugs. Please go to facebook.com/2worldspodcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at 2worldspodcast@gmail.com. And please go to our YouTube channel. It's 2 Worlds Podcast on YouTube and subscribe.
And hey, leave us a comment down below about how much I look like, I don't know, whoever you're crushing on right now. If you're like, oh yeah, you look like Jill from fifth period, I'll be like, hey, thank you. But yeah, just tell your friends too. We love you and we'd love to stay in chat, but I don't know. Jake's got a bunch of money because he's Bill Gates and he's gonna buy me a basketball team.
Bye, guys.